I've always believed that when a person truly understands how motivation works, life begins to open in remarkable ways, not because motivation suddenly becomes easier, but because it becomes clearer. And clarity is what most people are missing. Motivation isn't some mysterious force that randomly appears and disappears. It isn't luck, and it isn't magic. It follows a structure. It's layered, predictable, and deeply connected to how we live and think. Every action we take is fueled by a certain kind of motivation. And over time, I came to realize that the difference between people who merely get by and those who build something meaningful, talent or opportunity is the fuel they rely on. Some fuels burn fast and fade quickly. Others last longer but don't carry you very far. And then there is a deeper fuel, one strong enough to sustain a lifetime of progress. Most people don't realize this, which is why they feel inconsistent. One day, they feel unstoppable. The next day, exhausted and unmotivated. Nothing externally has changed, but the fuel has. When you don't understand the level of motivation you're operating from, you start blaming yourself. You assume you're lazy or undisciplined, when in reality, you're re-asking the wrong kind of motivation to carry a load it was never designed to handle. Motivation moves through stages. First, there is survival when pressure pushes you forward. Then comes incentive when reward pulls you ahead. And finally, there is purpose, the force that raises from within. Each level has power, but each has limits. Survival can get you started, but it can't build a future. It operates through fear and urgency. And while it can produce short bursts of effort, it fades as soon as the pressure lifts. People who live here move from crisis to crisis, confusing panic with progress. Incentive is stronger. It introduces possibility. The idea that effort can lead to comfort, freedom, or opportunity begins to pull you forward. This level teaches people how to set goals, plan, and stretch themselves. But incentive still depends on external rewards. When the prize is close, energy is high. When it's delayed or removed, motivation collapses. And that's the danger when your drive depends entirely on outcomes you don't fully control. Then there is purpose. Purpose doesn't push and it doesn't tempt, it calls. It doesn't depend on pressure or applause. It comes from meaning, from the understanding that your work matters, that your effort is connected to something larger than convenience or reward. When purpose takes hold, discipline stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like alignment. You act not because you're afraid or promise something, but because this is who you've decided to become. Purpose transforms motivation into identity. That level consistency becomes natural. You don't need to negotiate with yourself every morning. You don't rely on excitement. You move because movement is part of who you are. Discipline becomes respect for your potential, your values, and the life you're building. Over time, purpose paired with discipline creates momentum, and momentum is more powerful than motivation. Motivation needs renewal. Momentum only needs maintenance. Small actions repeated daily begin to compound, quietly at first, then unmistakably. Confidence grows, self-trust returns. You stop chasing inspiration because your habits carry you forward. This is the ultimate shift, not learning how to stay motivated forever, but becoming someone who no longer depends on motivation to live well. When purpose becomes identity, action follows effortlessly. Life doesn't become easy, but it becomes steady. And that steadiness builds a life that lasts, not because you chased motivation, but because you built a self that no longer needed it.